All right. I think this is my last test before I try to do my first live stream. Um, the process for getting all of this stuff set up has been quite the clusterfuck. Um, so the first thing I did, I use a Mac. I think a 2017 MacBook Pro, 13 inch. It's a pretty good laptop. Runs most of the games I want to play pretty well. It's also a really good development machine, which is what its primary purpose is for me. But I made the mistake recently of upgrading my the version of Mac OS I was running to Catalina. My fault. I probably should have done a little more research before I did that, because that upgrade again, uh, disables or eliminates all support for 32-bit apps, which includes all games through Steam that are 32-bit, which is a lot. It's a lot of games. Like, what the fuck were you guys thinking? Seriously. Um, but anyway, so I did that. The entire purpose upgrading the OS, behind upgrading Mac OS was so that I could run, so I could stream with the latest version of Streamlabs OBS uh, for live streams of games, which cool, right? Uh, but then I found out that I couldn't run like any of the games that I wanted to stream, so that was cool. So I ended up installing Windows 10. So I had to buy a license for Windows 10 because basically I've given up on Mac for gaming altogether. It's a futile battle. It's they obviously do not care about gaming. So I paid for a Windows 10 home license, which I am pretty sure is sufficient for what I want to do. So far, it seems that way. But I used Boot Camp, of course, because I'm on a Mac, to install Windows 10, and it had an issue with the partitioning. So I designated, I think, 95 gigs of my 256 or whatever gig SSD that's in this machine for Windows. When it was all said and done, it only allocated 40 gigs for some reason, and obviously that was not enough space. I went and started setting stuff up to do streaming, to play games. I installed like 3 or 4 games through Steam, and I realized I was down to like 2 gigs of free space, which obviously is not going to work for a variety of reasons. So I went back and I tried to do went back into Mac OS. I tried to set aside a new partition that I could then like merge with the Boot Camp partition and make the partition for Windows bigger. That wouldn't work for some reason. Like the partition wouldn't take. It kept erroring out in Mac OS. So I decided to do a fresh install of Catalina. So I spent an evening just backing up everything on the laptop that I wanted to back up. It's actually not a lot of stuff that I needed to back up. However, with iCloud, it automatically offloads data to iCloud, so that it frees up hard drive space. Well, obviously, I wanted to back up these files onto an external drive. I actually don't even want to use iCloud. I don't even know why it was enabled in the first place, but I had to wait like hours for it to like re-download everything to my computer from iCloud so I could back it up to an external drive. Then I did a reinstall of Catalina. Found out that when you do a reinstall through the restore process that Macs have, the default is just, a reinstall of the OS, but it keeps all of your files. So didn't free up any hard drive space, still couldn't partition my drive because something was obviously wrong with the data structure or something, so couldn't do it. So I spent the next entire evening doing an actual reinstall of Catalina. So that finally took. And then a reinstall of Windows 10 through with Boot Camp. That took. And so like everything now is totally set up. I got the newest video drivers installed, so everything should be working properly. So yeah, I think I'm ready to go. So yeah, this is I think my last trial run with just recording a video to make sure that the audio levels are good and everything before I just hop in and start doing some Duke Nukem 3D and Doom gaming. I think those are the types of games I'm going to start with. But yeah, I think everything's good to go now. So only days and days of getting things configured properly on this laptop to do what I want to do. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. So see you guys on Twitch. I might try to do some YouTube live streaming as well. I've never tried that before, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know if anybody's even going to watch me play. Whatever. I figure if I'm going to play anyway, I may as well stream it, and if people enjoy it, they enjoy it. If they don't, they don't. Not a big deal. Anyway, cheers, guys. I'll be streaming later, probably with a drink, because it's after work hours and I'm in isolation. My girlfriend's going to be home soon, but, just been doing a lot more drinking since we've been quarantined for the last, 7 weeks. Probably going to be 11 or 12 weeks before all of this is said and done. But all right. Cheers.